Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Bhaninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Samprikto Vagarthaf Pratipattaye Jagataf Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste everyone. Welcome to class. Hope everyone's doing well. So on the screen I have some of the vocabulary connected with Rama Shabda. So just so we, don't forget where we started. Rama Shabda, the vocabulary is particularly important because we see them a lot in our examples at the end of the homework, right? So we want to remember these. So make sure you're looking at these vocabulary, memorizing these vocabulary, or at least becoming more familiar with them. There are also words that come up very commonly. So today, for example, in class, we'll see loka, we'll see boga, we'll see acharya, we'll see ishwara. So all of these words come very commonly. We probably won't see gata. Oh, well, we might. You never know. Pot. Clay pot example. Always comes somehow. Okay, so let's look at our sarva shabda. So here's Rama, but let's look at sarva. So sarva is on page 93 of your book. Okay. So we can chant it together. Sarvaha, sarvo, sarve, sarvam, sarvo, sarvan, sarvena, sarvabhyam, sarvaihi. Fourth case, sarvasmat, sarvabhyam, sarvebhyaha. Fifth case, sarvasmat, sarvabhyam, sarvebhyaha. Sixth case, sarvasya, sarvayoho. Then tricky one, sarvesham. And sarvasmin, sarvayoho, sarveshu. He sarva, he sarvo, he sarve. So that's our sarva shabda. Sarva meaning all. And yeah, so that's basically it with sarva. Now we can say bye-bye to sarva. Okay, but it will come very commonly. But we're going to go much quicker with these pratipadika now, okay? We're gonna go one to the next, to the next, to the next. So we have to catch what we can and practice it and then move forward, okay? So with Rama Shabda, we spent many months. With each of these, we'll spend maybe 1 week or 2 weeks max, okay? So just so you know what's about to come to you. I was gonna say what's about to hit you, but I don't think this will hit you. Okay. We're going to jump to the Sandhi book. So if you have the Sandhi book, I want to also bring this up. The reason I'm bringing up Sandhi is because I don't want to move too quickly with our shabda. So we're going to intermix some sandhi, which is actually the best practice to do anyways, so that we can understand why certain things look the way that they do in our homework, in our Vedanta texts, and throughout this book one. This sandhi, right now where we are, probably I would assume page 14. Okay, so we're going to start on page 14. And remember, we're just looking at the overview of what sandhi is. So I think my pages might be slightly off than yours. So if they are, just, it'll look like what's on the screen, and you can help me out by putting it on the chat so other people can see, okay? So sandhi, the word sandhi means joining of two things, right? We talked about sandhya vandanam. I do my prayers in the morning when the morning is meeting the night, right? There's a meeting taking place. Here, we're talking about meeting of sounds. Two sounds are coming together. Two phonemes, two sounds are coming together to make a phonetic or sound change. Okay, so this is purely a sound change. It has nothing to do with meaning. Meaning does not change. Okay. Like if you're from New York, you say, forget about it. Okay, it's just because forget about it, you say, forget about it. And you know what I'm saying, right? You know the words, but there's no meaning change. It's just the pronunciation, the phonetic change when you put those words together makes it easier to say, right? Okay, so let's continue on here. We're going to go on to page 17 on my book. So a few pages after that, where we're going to, we're going to stay there. We'll look at these three types quickly. So there's three types of sandhis that we're going to see. This is kind of our curriculum for the sandhi book. One is visarga sandhi, where we're going to be talking specifically about rules which applied where visarga is going to be replaced or changed. So all the rules are revolving visarga. Then vowel sandhi. Vowels are called ach, and we'll see why vowels are called ach at a later point. But ach sandhi or vowel sandhi. So when vowels are there, there's going to be a phonetic change. And the third type is consonant or hal sandhi. Hal sandhi. That's when there's consonants meeting each other, there's going to be a phonetic change, right? So we already actually saw some hal sandhi. We saw murdhanyatvam, how to make sha to sha and na to na. That's those rules involving consonants. So it fits under hal sandhi. We're going to start with the first one. This is on my page 17, a few pages after yours, where it says topic 4. So this is the biggest jump you'll take. We're going from the beginning to topic 4. Where we're going to be talking a little bit about visarga. We saw this in the last class. Visarga is that guttural sound, that sound which comes from your throat. Okay, so we see aha, ihi, uhu. Aha, ihi, uhu. That visarga kind of replicates the sound of the vowel that precedes it. So we have to note, right? There's going to be a purva sound. Maybe I have to go with this hand. Purva sound on the left side. Purva sound is preceding. It's going to be the one on the left of the visarga. So put that hand up, which looks like the purva. That is your purva hand. Okay, that's going to be your purva sound. Previous. Then you have the visarga in the middle. And then the other side is para sound. Para sound. Okay? So purva, and then para. Okay? We're gonna do this dance for a little while, okay? This is a Bhangra class. When this happens, when there's this purva sound and para sound, this visarga may get replaced. So let's take it out of, let's make it more practical. We're going to go to our first rule, which looks like this. Let me pull it up on the iPad so I can write. Okay. Okay. So this is what we call Shivoham Sandhi. Okay. Shivoham is the word Shivaha Aham. So those are they're not traditional words to describe this Sandhi. They're actually, I don't know if this is an Arshavidya thing or Medamichika, but it's the way to remember this rule. Okay, it's a way to remember the rule that we're about to see. Okay, so you see it on the left side here. Shivoham Sandhi. So think of the word Shivaha Aham. In Shivaha, we see a Visarga, right? We see the Visarga here. We see a preceding it, so Shiva, right? Shiva, so it ends with a. So let me write it like this so I can show you. Shiva has an a at the end, okay? There's a hidden a, but I want to say Shiva ha. So there's a Visarga afterwards and then aham. Okay? Shiva ha aham. Now, when this happens, this akara that's here, actually all three of these, including the purva the visarga, and the para all three together are going to get replaced by o. Okay, so instead of saying shivaha aham, I say shivoham, shivoham, Satchidananda Swarupoham. Shivaha Aham. I am Shiva. I am that auspicious being. Literally, I am Shiva, but that's besides the point. I didn't make this name up. Okay? So we see when a visarga is preceded by a short akara and followed by a short akara, then all together, all three get replaced by O. Okay, all three get replaced by O. Now you see this little funny S symbol here. Okay, there's a little S symbol. Here, let me turn it so you can see it a little more clearly. That S symbol is what we call an avagraha. Avagraha. Let me write it for you. Okay, avagraha is just to show that there used to be an akara there. Okay, so it's a symbol to show you that before the Sandhi, there used to be an akara. Okay, so it just tells you that there used to be an akara before the Sandhi took place. Does that make sense? Why that's important is because when you're reading words in the text, you'll see, for example, you see Shivoham, like this up here. Now you see the avagraha here. All it's telling us is that when you break the Sandhi, you better give that a back. You better give that a back to aham. Okay, so that avagraha stands for a missing akara. Okay, let's continue with this and then I'll take questions after that. So you see some examples here. Shivaha aham becomes shivoham, and Namaha plus astu becomes namostu. Namostute. Okay? Namostu. Because we have visarga preceded by what? We've preceded by akara and followed by akara. All three get replaced by o. Okay? And you see in avagraha has no sound. It's just to show you that there used to be a there. So let's resolve the sandhi here. Okay? Prathamo dhyayaha becomes Prathamaha Adhyaya. Prathamaha Adhyaya. So first chapter of the Gita is called Ata Prathamo Dhyayaha. We're starting the first chapter, Adhyaya chapter. So Prathamo Dhyayaha becomes Prathamaha Adhyayaha when you break that sandhi or resolve the sandhi. Okay? Can you tell me in the chat if you loko yam, what does it become? Loko yam, what does it become? It rhymes. Loko yam, what does it become? I'm having a great time. Yeah. Lokaha plus ayam. Good, 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 good. You can see number 3, ajaha api. Then number 4, dehinaha asmin. Okay. All right, now let's apply the sandhi. Okay, let's pick the shortest one, number 4. Can you tell me what will it be if you apply the sandhi now? Be very careful. Yeah. Good. Number 4, karmanaha anyatra becomes karmanonyatra. Karmanonyatra. Can you say it with me? Karmanonyatra. All right, let me write it out. Okay, now notice here, I didn't write the avagraha. Oh no, that's okay. You don't have to write the avagraha. Okay, notice how I didn't put an avagraha. I just wrote it as it is. That's okay. You don't have to put it, but sometimes they do. So if you put it, what it will look like? It'll look like this. Oh, that's not very clear. Hold on. So you write karmano avagraha nyatra. You see that S mark? That's what we call an avagraha. It's just showing us that there used to be an akara. Now there is no akara. Okay? So we just need to note that you can put it, you don't need to put it, whatever you feel like. Okay? Now, any questions that are there? Hariprasad ji, you had a question?
Yes, sir.
1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. In Lalita Sahasranam, I have seen in many places double 2 avagrahas together.
Mm.
What does it mean?
When you have 2 avagraha, that means there used to be an akara.
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 Okay.
And then akara is replaced, not by this rule, but a rule we'll see very soon.
Okay. Got it. So it is
Okay.
akara.
Akara, yeah, was replaced. So you put 2 avagrahas to show you. that we replace that akara.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Nilimanji, go ahead.
When there is an avagraha added, do you
Mhm.
pronounce it a little longer than usual? Say like Shivoham, right? Shivoham or Shivoham?
No, it's not any longer. So you just pronounce it short. So Shivoham. But I think because we're doing meditation, you say Shivo, but it's not real. It should be short. Okay. Yeah. So not any longer because it's still a short vowel there. That avagraha doesn't change the sound. Okay. That is our first sandhi, Shivoham sandhi. So now, from now on, I'm going to say Shivoham sandhi. You have to know in your mind, this picture should show up. Which picture? This picture. This picture. Preceding para all get replaced by o. Okay? This is what we call Shivoham sandhi. Again, not a traditional name, but a name that helps us remember this. Okay? All right. We're going to switch screens here and switch topics. We're going to go out of the Sandhi topic back to our book one. Okay. Okay. We're going to go to our next shabda, which is tad shabda, page 95, page 95 of the book. Tad shabda, tad etad kim, tad yad etad kim. Okay, so these are, so far we've seen Rama and Sarva. Sarva was what we called a Sarvanama, right? A pronoun. Now we're going to see 4 more pronouns, 4 more Sarvanama. Okay, so these are 4 more pronouns that we will learn that are very similar to how you decline Sarva, but slight differences. Okay, the ones we'll see are tad, meaning that, yad, that which, etad, this, and kim. Kim means what. Okay, these are used really, really often. You'll most likely see it in today's Vedanta class. You know, you definitely will see it. I know that. And again, these decline very similar. What we have to do is we have to look at it just like we have the word. So you see tad, but just remove the dakara and it declines like ta. Yakara, remove the da and it declines like ya. Etad, remove the dakara, declines like eta. So what I'm saying is they all decline like a ending sarva. Except for 1-1, okay? Except for 1-1. So let's look at the chart there, okay? Oh, let's look at the meaning of tad, okay? Let's start with tad. Tad represents a thing or a person who is a little bit distant from the speaker. There's there's some social distancing, okay? And I want to refer to someone who's a little bit distant. I would say, you see that person, okay? He's a little bit distant and I'm pointing to that person or that guy, okay? So I'm using a pronoun to refer to someone who is someone or an object which is a little bit away from me. Right? So we see that first example. This is not lat lakara, this is future tense. So just so you know, it doesn't look exactly like present tense. Saha gamishyati, future tense. So saha is he. He will come. Okay, so notice how tad was translated as he. We'll talk about that. He will come. I'm referring to someone who's a little bit away. Te vadanti, they say. Tasmin bhavishyami, I will be there. So tasmin, there, I'm referring to in time. So the time is a little bit distant, or the place is a little bit distant, okay? So these translations are a little bit tricky. We're gonna go through them a little more clearly here. So let's look at the chart first. You notice how most of it is gray. Why is it gray? Because all of them in gray are the same as, declines the same as sarva. So we saw sarva, we saw sarvo, so we say to, we say sarve, so we say te, sarvam, tam, sarvo, to, sarvan, tan. You see how it declines the same way as sarva, except for 1, 1. 1, 1, it's just replaced completely by saha. Saha. Now, the question is going to be, why does it get replaced by saha? And the only thing I can say is there's a sutra for that. Like there's an app for that. There's a sutra that Panini wrote that just tells you this rule as is. Okay, gets replaced by saha. So 1, 1 tad in masculine, saha. To, te, tam, to, tan. Okay. Tena tabhyam taihi. Fourth case. You can maybe get it without looking. Tasmai tabhyam tebhyah. Fifth case. Tasmat tabhyam tebhyah. Sixth. Tasya tayoho tesham. Seventh case. Tasmin tayoho teshu. Hey, no, just kidding. There's no sambodhana for tad shabda. Okay? There's no sambodhana. We can say, so sarva itself has sambodhana. This tad doesn't say, there's no sambodhana. Okay? Just so we know that. Okay. Now, one thing we have to note is that sometimes these translations won't exactly be that. The reason is you have to see what is the vibhakti arthaha of the word we're talking about. Okay. For example, tad it just says saha, right? 1, 1, saha. So let's say saha vanam gacchati. Blank goes to the forest. Now, when I'm referring to a singular male, because it's masculine, singular male who's a doer of action, right? Single man who's a doer of action, I won't say that, I'll say he, right? I'll use the pronoun he. Because, right, that fits the context. The karta, who's a man who's single, he, I can say he. So he goes to the forest. To, those two, they all, right? We can say they sounds like they all. Right? So ste vanam gacchanti. They all go to the forest. We can look at, let's skip ahead. Let's just look at tasmat, for example, fifth case. Now, tasmat, it can be in so many different meanings. It can be apadane panchami. It could be heto panchami. We saw so many different meanings, right? A lot of times we see tasmat in heto panchami. So instead of saying that, from that, I'll say because of that, or therefore, right? I'll translate tasmat as therefore, because it comes from heto panchami. So these are worth noting, right? Saha is, you can translate he, tasmat you can translate as because or therefore. Tena. Yeah, that's okay. We can say with that. Yeah, we'll translate some sentences. You'll get more practice of that. So let's go to the back of the book. Let's do that. That'll be a little bit more clear. Let's go to back of the book. I think it's exercise 18, page 178. Okay, exercise 18, page 178. Looks like this. Okay, so page 178 looks like that. Let me just stop sharing here. Okay. So you see on my screen, number 1, right? Blank Ishvaraha ikshate. Now we only learn tad. So we're only going to learn tad so far. So tad in one is saha. So saha Ishvara ikshate. He sees Ishvara. Ikshate, sees Ishvara. He sees Ishvara, right? Let's look at number 4. Tell me if I'm going too fast. I think I'm going a little fast. Number 4. Blank gunam pashyati devadattaha. What do I write in that blank there? Can you tell me in the chat? Yeah, just come quickly. Like tam, like sarvam, it's tam. Like sarvam, it's tam. 2-1, right? Number 4, not fourth case, number 4, 2-1 is tam. So tam gunam pashyati devadattaha. What's the verb? Uh-oh, there's no verb at the end of the sentence. Yeah, it's not at the end of the sentence, but there's a verb there. Pashyati. Okay. Kaha pashyati, who sees? Devadattaha pashyati. Devadatta sees. He sees what? Tam gunam. That quality. It's an object of pashyati. Tam guna. He says that quality. Okay, let's look at number 10. Acharyaya namaha. Okay, what is tad in 4-1? Yeah, good. So it's tasmai acharyaya namaha. My salutations to the acharya, to that acharya, that acharya who taught me all that is to be known. Right? Tasmai acharya. Number 12, we would say, Tebhyaha janebhyaha swasti. May there be auspiciousness for those people. For those people. So you have to be a little bit flexible with how you translate that. I know that drives us crazy, but see what makes sense. Okay, number 3. Let's see if there's a good one here. Okay, number 13th. Tasmat hastat gatam pattati. Kaha pattati, what falls? Gataha pattati. The pot falls. Kasmat, from what does it fall? Tasmat hastat, from that hand. From that hand. See, because it's apadhane panchami. There it's not hito panchami, it's apadhane. So you can say from that hand. Okay. The homework will be to exercise 18. just fill in the blanks with tad. Okay? And yeah, that's probably a bit, yeah. So let's just do that much. Now you can translate some of them. I would translate one of them from each case. How about that? Translate one from each case. It can be any one. So if you want to do, so 1, 2, and 3 are all first case. So just choose one. 4, 5, 6 are all second case. Just choose one and translate them. Send them to me and I'll tell you if you're on the right track. This is a little bit more tricky with the translation. So that's why we need some practice with this, okay? So just, you're gonna choose only 7 to translate out of these 18. The rest, you're just gonna fill in the blank. I hope that makes sense, okay? We'll end here, we'll take a 5-minute break. In between, in that break, we can have some questions, okay? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om